Hey guys, so I got my lunch here. So I'm just gonna get in on this. Just wing it and just try not to stress about it. Because I noticed I stress over like the littlest things. And I try not to stress over the littlest things. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into this 'cause I am hungry for one. My brother treated two. That was very nice of my brother. And he got something simple for my son so I can share with my son. So he got flatbread with turkey, mayonnaise, mustard, and Swiss cheese. Um, this is actually really, really basic. It's not enough for me. I can eat more in there, but and it's really dry, really dry, really, 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 really dry. I can open this Gatorade. So I get the lemon lime. I'm eating outside in my backyard because I don't want to talk too loud, and the baby's napping. I'm watching him on the monitor. I also got myself some hot Cheetos because I love them hot Cheetos. I'm such a weirdo, but I really do the hot Cheetos. So I wanted to share with you guys my labor and delivery story. I believe some of you guys already know, like my close personal friends. But I kind of want to post it. I kind of want to post it on my channel. I'm just gonna pour. So the day I had Elijah was not just a life-changing experience. It was a very scary experience. I don't know how to word it. Like, it was a crazy life-changing experience. Um, the way everything went down didn't come out according to plan, but as a parent, you have to understand that not everything's gonna go not everything's gonna go according to your plan. Your kids have other plans for you. So, yeah. Um, but the day I had my son, the day I had my son, we everybody was at work. My boyfriend was at work. My brother was at work. My parents, they were out of town. And I have an aunt and uncle that lives in the front house. And so they were gone too. They went to Mexico with my parents. I feel like the sun's in my face. Um, so I was home alone when this went down. So I'm home. I forgot what I was doing. I was doing something like I just finished eating breakfast or something, and I woke up late. I woke up like around 9:30, 10, and that's pretty late for me. I usually wake up like around 8:30. In between 7:30 and 8:30 is usually the time I wake up in the morning. And prior to his due date, well, prior to the date he was born, because his due date was a month later. He was born a month early. But the day, a couple of weeks before he was born, I was feeling weird feelings. I felt like I peed myself. So we went to the emergency. Well, not to the emergency, but we went to the doctors and to go get me checked or whatever. And they said that I peed myself when usually when you have to pee, you get like a sensation, like a peeing sensation. And I didn't get that. I just sat up from laying down. And I sat up and then I stood up. And when I stood up, I felt liquid. So I thought like my water was breaking or something. Well, apparently what happened was there was a tear in my, what is it called, my water bags. And so that happened a week before I had Elijah. The day I had him, I was home alone, like I just told you guys. And I'm not trying to be sassy, but somebody said, you have sass. But whatever. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So baby daddy walks in from his for his break. Yeah, it was for his break. He walked in. Holy moly! Think I should be sitting right here, right here, here, here. I don't know. I'm just doing my thing. But he he walks in and like he said he's seen it on my face that like something was wrong. He looked at me and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I told him, "I don't feel good." He's like, "What do you mean?" I told him, "I don't know. I don't feel good." I told my lower back was starting to hurt me, and he was like, "I think you should call the doctor." So I was like, "Okay." I'll call the doctor, but I have to use the bathroom first. So I went in. So I went in the bathroom, and I did my thing. I had to go pee or whatever. I wiped myself, and I noticed that there was blood. So I remember reading that if you're bleeding or spotting or whatever, like that could be a bad sign. So I automatically called my doctor. They told me to go in. I went in. They checked me. They said I was 2 centimeters dilated. That I should be having my son tonight. So they said that they're gonna admit me and all this stuff. They did. Time goes on. They started, hooking me up to all these machines and stuff. Um, so at one point, my baby daddy was noticing that every time I would get a contraction, oh, mind you, contractions, ooh, 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 contractions are mother. Like, contractions hurt so bad. If you have like cramps, if you've ever had cramps, if you ever had cramps in your stomach, it's like 10 times that, 20 times that. And it feels like, well, for me, I don't know if it's like that with every girl, but I have to burp and I can't. For me, it felt like my lower back, like in between your butt crack and your lower back. Like all that area starts to hurt like really bad. And you're just like, oh my butt. Oh, that's how I was. I was like legit like, oh my butt. Oh my butt. And so my baby daddy's holding my hand and he's just like, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Just breathe, just relax, try to think about it. And I was just like, this pain. Oh my God. It was really painful. And then he started to notice every time I was having a contraction, the baby's heart rate would drop. And then we started noticing the nurses were like whispering. And then one of the nurses comes up to me and is like, I'm gonna need you to sign this paper just in case we're gonna need to do an emergency C-section. And I was like, wait, what? Emergency C-section? Oh no, that's not something I planned. That like it's not a part of my plans. And she's like, ma'am, we need to know if just in case an emergency, if there's something wrong with your baby, we need to be able to know if we can save him. So just like, okay, fine. I signed that paper. Then she was like, okay, well, before you go into surgery, we're gonna put a catheter in you. And I was just like, oof. I used to be my grandmother's caretaker, and I used to see her go through that, and it looked like it was very painful. And I was like, is it gonna hurt? And then she was like, you're gonna feel pressure. I looked at her and I was like, well, I'm already going through contractions, so I don't think it's gonna be as bad as the contractions. Just do it. So she's gonna do it. I turn and I look at baby daddy, I turn and I look at my baby daddy, okay? He's pale. Like, he's as white as the wall behind him. So, I looked at him and I noticed he was pale. And I looked at him and I said, "Are you okay?" And he looked at me and he was just like, "I don't feel good." And I looked at him like, "What do you mean you don't feel good?" He was just like, "Oh man, I need to sit down." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was just like, "I don't know, I don't feel good." And I was just like, "Okay." Then all of a sudden, I looked at his face and his eyes started rolling and he fainted. Ooh, the sun got in my face. And he fainted. Okay. And of course, I got scared. So I panicked and I got scared. And when he fainted, there was a nurse behind him that caught him and laid him down. And I can hear his shoes, like, because it's tile. I can hear his shoes. I heard his body stiffen. I heard him go, and I heard his shoes go, "Eek." And then I heard, "Eek," like twice in a row like that. And at the time, I didn't think of it or didn't think anything of it. Like, I just said the same thing twice, pretty much. Anyways, and at the time, I didn't think anything of it. And I was just hitting that nurse button, like, "Oh my god, oh 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 my god." Oh, it's legit screaming, oh my god, somebody help me. My, oh my god, I just remembered that before he fainted, before he fell, well, not, he didn't fall, before the nurse caught him. Before the nurse caught him, when in motion, when he was falling, all I remember was just thinking to myself, WTF, what the fuck? Like, are you serious right now? You said you weren't gonna do this to me. You said you weren't gonna leave me hanging. And I yelled, "No, please don't leave me." Because I remember my mom, that was the garage door I closed, if you heard that. My mom and my grandma and everybody in the waiting room said that they could hear me and they thought that I was having the baby and they thought there was something wrong with the baby. But it was it was my boyfriend. It was my boyfriend. Mm. So that happened. Okay. He fainted. So when you faint, you cannot go in in the surgery room because you're at high risk of fainting again. So My grandma went with me, and to me, all of this, when I stop and think about what I went through, to me, it feels like something that comes out of a movie. Like, it's just, who faints like that? Who faints like that? But whatever. It's done is done. But my grandma went into the surgery room with me, and they told me to hug the pillow, lean over, and so they gave me an epidural. Now that numbs, for those of you who don't know what an epidural is, it numbs you from the waist down, so you don't feel anything. And that is a different feeling. Oh, I have an ear pod in my ear. Now, when they gave me the C-section, when they gave me the C-section, I couldn't feel anything but tugging. I just remember laying there and like they still haven't got him out. My grandma explained to me that he's already in the canal and his umbilical cord was around his neck. So they were struggling. And I know this might be a little TMI for some of you guys, but I'm just gonna keep it real and honest. And I don't know any other way to kind of clean this up. So I'm gonna try to keep this as clean as possible. Um, ooh, the sun keeps on getting in my face. Um, so what they did was they pushed him back into the canal. I mean, they pushed him back out of the canal, back into my stomach, and then they pulled him from the cut, which is under my belly button, like the bikini line area. Um, and when they took him out, he didn't cry right away because he had a light pulse, but he wasn't breathing. And they had to resuscitate him. They brought him to my face for like 5 seconds, and then they took him away. And all I remember, because I was drugged too, at one point during everything, when I was going through labor and contractions and all that, I asked for, what did I ask for? I just said, can you give me drugs to like get rid of this pain? That's all I remember is asking, like, I need the drugs. I need the drugs right now because I just can't take it no more. So I remember they gave me something that made me feel like I was like in freaking outer space or something. But after they took him away from me, I just remember seeing him one last time, but it was for a short time too. And they had him in a little like portable like incubator, and they were taking him to another hospital because he needed to be in a hospital where they had a NICU. And at the hospital where I had him, they didn't have a NICU. So we had to be separated for like 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, I had to pump. And I would give it to his dad, and then his dad would take it to the NICU where Elijah was at. But my experience having him was the most craziest day of my life. He came in like a wrecking ball. I tell him that all the time. But once I recovered, I would see him like every day. Every day. Like, I just did not want to leave his sight. And the sad thing, though, like, that was a really good hospital where they had the NICU. Really good hospital. Focused on the kids 100%. The only thing was, I didn't like the way the doctor approached me. Like, oh, I just want to let you know that he carries an extra chromosome. I looked at the doctor and I was like, okay. Like, okay. And then he's like, well, I'm gonna give you some time for that to let it set in. And I was like, okay. Me and my boyfriend were looking at each other like, what the hell? Okay. So then he comes back and like 20, 30 minutes later and asked me if I knew what what Tresemme 21 was. And I looked at him and smiled and said, yes, I used to work with kids with special needs. I used to work with kids in general. And he looked at me and he was just like, oh, so you knew that you were going to have a baby with Down syndrome? And I said, yes, I knew that. Like, me and my boyfriend, we felt like he wanted us to be like, oh my God, he has Down syndrome. Like, we're going to cry or something. And we're like, we're okay with it. We knew since we were like 3 months pregnant. But I don't know. I just had weird experiences. Like, even when I was pregnant, every time I would go to doctor's appointments, like for the first 4 months, the doctor insisted that I get. He was moving. Insisted that I get a termination, and I was like, no. Well, you're still young, and it's gonna be very challenging. And I'm like, life it is. That's the way life is. Life is very challenging. Like, I'm not gonna terminate something just because, oh, he's gonna be challenging. So let him challenge me. But my overall experience during pregnancy was good. hmm But just the labor and delivery was really crazy. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He was in the NICU for less than a month. So like, no, about a month. But he's healthy, he's strong, he's here, and that's all that matters. He is my everything. I don't understand how some moms can neglect their own children. It's just crazy to me. Like, how do you just neglect somebody you brought into this world? Like, don't you love that human being? Like, you made that human being, but that's another topic. That's another story, or that's another, something that we can talk about. Whatever. Let's see. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I'm pretty much done. I still have my hot Cheetos though. You save these. I was gonna say bad words. Let's just save these things for later. I'm not finished with my Gatorade yet. Save that. Um, and there's like that much left. But I might give it to the baby when he wakes up. Well, like half of this, because he won't eat the whole thing. It's too much for him. But yeah, if you guys have any questions for me or have any ideas of like kind of story times that I can tell you guys, I'm gonna be doing this more often. Like every time Elijah's napping, whatever, and give you like story times or get to know me type of videos. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, let's see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. This is my backyard, guys, but it's pretty like whatever. It's like whatever. It's not a great backyard, but if I was like fancy and I had the money, I would live in a nice area because my area that I live in isn't that great. But yeah, it is what it is. At least I got a roof over my head. That's all that matters. Hope you guys are blessed. Well, hope you guys stay blessed. That's, that's the way I should word it. Hope you guys stay blessed. Hope you guys have a good day. And I'm just walking around in my backyard, being weird and random. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Um, yeah, peace.